So we are about to go out of town yet again, and we're going to visit a family cabin for about 4 days. And then we're gonna do something pretty spontaneous. As you know, and as I've mentioned before, I've been trying to find silver fox rabbits. That's the breed I've been wanting. And I've been looking in Utah, Idaho, Arizona, all the surrounding areas. And to no avail. It's been several weeks of, well, months of me trying and asking. I finally, last week, had someone get back to me about having some rabbits for us, and they live about 2 hours where we're going to be staying at a cabin as a family. So at the end of our trip, I'm gonna make the 2-hour drive and pick up those rabbits. I've done a few things to get ready. We've got the carriers that we're gonna use to transport them in our vehicle. We've got the hutch ready, and as you can see, it's still in our garage. So we need to move that to its place. We're actually not gonna be able to put it in the ground today. We just don't have enough time. We're gonna put it in a temporary place where it will be out of the wind and in the shade for the rabbits when we get back.
Literally the day before we left this trip was when I got a response back about the breeder having a trio of pedigreed rabbits. And so we weren't quite prepared, which is fine. I mean, we did have enough time to pick up some rabbit feed that we would have ready to go once the rabbits got back. We are fine with rolling with spontaneity.
So we're gonna get it into position, make sure it's level and it's secure. We feel like we don't have to secure the legs into the ground right now. We don't think it'll blow from the wind where it is now. Where we plan on putting it eventually, it will need to be more secured. So for now, this is the best place. It's the most shady and least likely to blow away.
After we got it to this side of the house, there were some decisions we had to make whether we wanted to put it. We had set it here, and then we realized that someone might be coming to fix that little window up on the house because it's not quite right. So we decided to shift it over a few feet just in case that person decided to come while we were gone and could fix the window. And the rabbit hutch would not be in the way at all. And now we feel completely ready to have rabbits on our homestead.
I've also been needing to clean up this area. I've been collecting a pile of trash for like a few weeks. So let's get this area cleaned up and looking good.
When I was doing the drip system for the berry patch over here, I had made a mistake with a couple of the hoses, and so I had to replace them, and I was just collecting them in a pile. There was also a box that I had stored some of the raspberry plants in before planting, so things were just accumulating on this side of the house that we needed to remove, and so it felt good to finally get that off the property. We had enjoyed our cabin trip with our family, and now it was time for me to make the drive over and pick up our rabbits.
So I am in the middle of northern Utah, and as I had mentioned before, this is somewhat close to where we were doing a family trip, and I have finally found some silver fox rabbits, and we just picked them up. So we have 2 does and a buck. The does are 2 to 3 months old, and our buck is about 9 months old, and he's a lot bigger, which is really good. We want to see the big rabbits. So now we get to drive home with all 3 rabbits, and it should be a great experience. The kids haven't seen them yet, and so I'm driving back to show them.
The kids got to pet the rabbits and see them before we had to do the drive back home. They really wanted to hold the rabbits while we were driving, but I said no. We kept them in their comfortable little boxes until we made it home. We came home to a beautiful sunset, and it was a little chaotic getting all the rabbits in their places and also unpacking after a long trip and trying to get kids to go to bed even though they were so excited to have the rabbits on our homestead. When we got the rabbits in their spaces, they immediately went to sniffing their new areas and getting comfortable. It felt good to get them out of their little travel boxes and into their new homes. that was trying to jump out is from the other lady.
Yeah.
We do need to put food in there.
It was fun to see the kids take ownership over helping and caring for the rabbits, and it was really a special moment for our family. We made sure that they had enough food, water, and hay to be comfortable for the rest of the night.
Hey, bud. Hi, bud. They just sniffed their new homes. Hello.
I remember about 5 years ago in our apartment in North Carolina trying to convince my husband that we could have rabbits on our balcony and raise them and provide some meat for our family. And obviously we didn't end up doing that, but I remember wishing badly that that was something that we could do as a family. And so for that dream to be able to finally happen was really exciting for me. Just goes to show that if something really matters to you, you can make it happen. And sometimes you have to wait several years, like that was 5 years ago for me. And so don't give up on something if you feel like it's the right thing for you to do and the right thing for your family. And there also have been things that I have, not really given up on, but realized that it's not the right thing for our family. A few days after bringing the rabbits home, we finally had time to dig the holes to put the rabbit hutch legs into.
I bet they love it.
Okay, just finished digging the holes for all the posts. Now we need to move it over and see if we need to level anything out before just filling it back in. Okay, ready? 1, 2, 3.
Once we had lowered it into the ground, we realized it was super off. So we had to pull it back out, and I dug the holes on the right side a little bit deeper. And then it was time to backfill. The girls helped me with this, which was really nice because it was actually starting to rain.
That's a lot better.
Much easier.
All right. Girls helped me finish. It's starting to sprinkle on us, so we got it done just in time. So you've seen us pick up our rabbits and get them, and so now we wanted to introduce you guys to the rabbits. We've had them for about 3 days, so we're starting to get to know their personalities a little bit more, and so let me introduce them to you. So this is one of our does. She's around 3 months old, and she has more silvering in her than the other ones. All of the silver fox that we have are black silver fox. She has black parents, so both of her parents were black with the silver on it. She's a little more on the jumpy side than the other doe, but still super, super sweet. So this is our second doe. She's mostly black, and she's more like 2 months old, so she will be getting more of that silver coming, and we won't be able to be breeding these for several more months. So that's our second doe. This is the buck, and he's 9 months, so he's mostly fully grown, and he is by far the sweetest of them. And I don't know if that's because of age, so he is less jumpy, or that's his temperament. His parents are both black silver fox. I forgot to mention the second doe that I showed you, the one who's mostly black, she has had a mother who was blue, so she could potentially have babies that are blue or black. So we'll see what ends up coming from them. Most of the babies that will be coming from this trio will be black. We've been trying to think of some names for these rabbits, and we decided to ask you guys for some help. So we wanted to create a theme for naming these rabbits, and our family loves to go on hikes, and so we thought it would be fun to name these rabbits after trail names. So comment below on any trail names that you think would be fun names for these rabbits. Let us know which rabbit you're thinking, and we will pick one from you guys.
my two daughters have totally taken over all the responsibilities for our rabbits, for feeding them, checking on them when it's hot outside to see if they need frozen water bottles or fans blowing on them. But this morning, I had the chance to take care of them. Last night, our girls had the chance to go to a play with their dad, and they were up until super late. So I generally get out each morning just to do a walk through of the gardens, the berry patch, and the orchard, just to see how the watering systems are doing and how everything's doing. So it wasn't hard for me to make a quick stop to check on the rabbits. Every now and then we like to just grab a little bit of weeds here or there to feed them, in addition to their pellets and hay, and it's totally fine for their diet as long as it's not a ton of it. So what we do for feeding is we just right now have this big bowl and a scooper that they can use to measure out. For the buck, we do a little bit less than a cup of pellets, and then for the does we do a full cup. They're still growing, and so they need a little bit of extra nutrition to feed them. I actually really like feeding the rabbits. They get so excited to get their food. They come up to the cage, they peek their head out at you, and it's just a really good time to pet them and get to know them. They are just really excited to eat. I keep getting the question of, how do you manage having animals that you know you will someday process and harvest for your family? Obviously, these are our breeding trio, so we won't be, harvesting these animals, but there will come a time for that. And I just feel like there is something to be beautiful about that. I believe that God gave us animals for comfort and for love, and these animals definitely bring that for me and for our kids, and we really cherish having their relationship. But there's also something beautiful about just life and offering a life.
You are hungry. Are you hungry? She's like, when is it my turn? Okay. Good morning. You want your food? I'm so hungry.
I don't know how to really describe it, but that's just how I feel, and I really hope that we can show that to our kids, that it's not a bad thing or scary to see death, and to show gratitude towards the animal for giving food for that. And I just feel like there's a lot of disconnect in our world today of, we're all eating meat, but we aren't really thinking about the life that was sacrificed for that meat, or that an animal was even killed for it. So I really don't want that disconnect in our family, and I'm excited to be able to share that with our kids.
Okay, go back and get your food.
All right, you guys, go ahead and leave a comment for each rabbit, what you think, some options of what you think we should name them. Again, our theme is trail names, so if you have any good ideas, let us know in the comments down below.
I burned out like a wandering